Greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well today. Well, I've been dying to share these Dogman encounters with you, and I just happened to be in the studio and sitting in front of the mic and said, well, let's start recording. So a couple links I'd like to share with you before we get into these encounters. As you know, I rely on my Patreon, PayPal, and merch to help this channel continue to grow and go. I also have a second channel for fan fiction, scary voice acting, and creepypasta. Stories that don't fit on this channel. Now, if that's anything that you're into, follow that link below and give those stories a listen. You may just like what you hear. I also started a GoFundMe page to help raise some money for equipment that I am going to use for urban exploration videos, cryptid hunting videos, and ghost hunting videos. I just bought an SLS cam, and if you guys don't know what they are, familiarize yourself with Ghost Adventures. That's the stick figure anomaly detected camera. Wicked sick. Anyway, I've taken enough of your time. Let's get on with these Dogman encounters, shall we? Our first encounter comes to us from Henrico County, Virginia. Dogman sightings in Henrico County, Virginia, of a dog-like creature has come to be known as the Werewolf of Henrico County. The story of the Werewolf of Henrico County has taken on something of an urban legend status. It's hard to find a true first-hand account. Everything heard about this particular werewolf/dogman seems to be something that a friend of a friend said. When you're finally able to get through the excitement and whispers, accounts of the Dogman sightings describe a grayish-white creature covered in fur that stands upright and has a face of a wolf or a dog. These werewolf sightings seem to be clustered in Henrico County, Virginia, and around the Confederate Hills Recreation Center. It is unclear how often the Dogman appears or what its appearance coincides with. Today's second Dogman encounter comes from Lansing, Michigan. The report is noted as follows. On May 6, 2006, Ron was driving back to his girlfriend's house, who lives around Lansing, Michigan. He was coming back from the store, and she lives out in the country, completely isolated, so only way to get there is to go down dirt roads that are surrounded by fields. Ron was driving and saw something moving on a little hill that was right on the side of the road, so he stopped. All of a sudden, a human-like hand, except much larger than a normal man's hand, reached over the edge of the hill, and this huge silhouette came into view. It was much larger than a normal man, and it had a wolf-like face, and its eyes reflected in its headlights. It just sat there and looked across the field on the other side of the road, and then just very calmly turned its head and looked right at Ron, froze in fear, and locked in each other's stares for about 20 seconds. It started to move downhill, so Ron hit the gas and flew past it, and got to the stop sign, stopped and looked in the rearview mirror, and it was sitting in the middle of the road just looking at the car. Ron took off again, and he was driving and proceeded to look back again, and it moved very calmly into the other field. After getting to his girlfriend's house, they went back to the spot, but the creature was gone. This happened between Lansing and the small town of Eaton Rapids. Today's third Dogman encounter comes to us from Bray Road, Wisconsin. A 44-year-old registered nurse from Greendale. Her 14-year-old daughter and 14-year-old friend saw what was definitely the Wolfman while driving down Bray Road about 8:30 p.m. October 30th, 2004. For the sole purpose of trying to scare the daughter's friend Kevin, the woman is trained in anatomy, psychology, and kinesiology. And they estimate the creature was no farther than 9 feet away from them and illuminated in the headlight of their car. "We'd been looking for it for years," said the woman. Kevin had never been to Bray Road, so her daughter wanted to scare him. They arrived about 8:30, drove up and down the road a few times, drove around Bowers Road and back onto Bray, driving slowly and under the speed limit, when something popped out of the corn about 2 miles down the road heading towards Elkhorn. It stepped right out of the corn and looked aggressive. We all screamed loudly. She put her foot on the gas and went away as fast as she could and did not go back. What she saw doesn't make sense. A quadruped has legs backward for speed and agility. But this creature had large, powerful thigh muscles, and its knee was backwards. It was covered in fur with heavy fur on its back. It was dark in color and tipped silvery gray. It was in the oncoming lane of traffic, so they were less than 9 feet away from the creature. It was not a person in a suit. It was way too tall, about 7 feet, and way too muscular, and its eyes were glittery and dark. It had no whites like a human's eyes and a mask would have. Its head was big, almost too big for its body. It had an elongated snout, but pointy, not rounded like a dog. It stood there and then hunched over in an aggressive stance. Its arms were bent at the elbow and forward. Its ears were pointed, shaped like a German shepherd's, but laid back. It was looking right at them, and they all felt it was aggressive and would definitely defend itself viciously. This was not a dog or a wolf. It had canine features, but it was something else, something different, yet the same. It was a Dogman. They all had the feeling that they were not safe and didn't get the picture, although they had a camera all over the car, video camera, digital camera, and disposable camera. They were prepared. But when they saw it, they all screamed and the mother floored the gas. The woman said she was not drinking any alcohol and does not do drugs. She is a registered nurse. She has had a few incidences in her life and considers somewhat paranormal, but has never seen anything definite like that. All 3 witnesses saw the creature at the same time and agreed on its appearance. Today's 4th Dogman encounter is a brief one. Some friends were driving, and as they took the turnpike ramp off Montgomery Street, a large creature on all 4s walked across the road in front of their car. With an air of unconcern, it looked like a very oversized, muscular black dog, wolf-like creature, but its legs were much longer than a dog should be, and it had a ruff of longer fur at the base of its neck. Its eyes were reflecting yellow. Today's 5th Dogman encounter. The following took place in the space of about 2 minutes. While looking up at the trees, I noticed something much closer to us, standing in the field on the other side of a berm. My thought process was actually quite comical. I first dismissed it as a bush, then kept looking at the trees. I glanced at it again and thought it was a man, a very tall man. Then I looked at it a little longer and realized it was covered in brown hair. And rather than the Sasquatch-like creature I would have expected, it had a dog-like head, most comparable to a German shepherd. I asked my friend, "Are you seeing this?" And he said, "You mean the figure over there?" There was a moment of silence in which the creature walked off to the left to an area where the berm was too high to see over and disappeared. I believe we both shouted, "Oh shit," and ran off. This happened in Southern California. Well, 5 Dogman encounters for Sunday, the last Sunday of February. I hope you guys enjoyed these as much as I did, and I've got this amazing subscriber story coming to you, and I just keep getting more feedback from this subscriber, actually more updates, excuse me. I am going to have this out this week. This story is incredible, And let me tell you, when I say incredible, I mean incredible. Right up there with the Dogman spooked my horses in West Virginia incredible. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely love that encounter. This, I'm loving just as much. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys have the great rest of the day on Sunday today, and I bid you farewell, and I'll see you tomorrow.